Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English, and today we are going to be doing a vocabulary lesson and test for you, and the theme of the vocabulary is going to be taking the train. So this video there will be a mixture of video and photographs to teach you some important words on the theme of taking the train. So every time there is an important word for you to remember or to learn, I have written the word in red. So all the words written in red that you see, they are the important words to remember. Okay, so hopefully that should make it easier for you. So we're going to see some videos and some photographs of things which are to do with the train, and then we'll do a summary right at the end, and I'll list all the words that we have learned today, and then right at the end there will be a little quiz, a little fun game for you to test you and to make sure that you've remembered the words. Okay, so let's get started. So here we can see a man and a girl going to the train station. So this is the first word that we are learning, is the train station. So that is the place where you go to take the train. And the name of the people who are getting the train or taking the train is, we call them passengers. So these are two passengers. So they are the people who are going to take the train are called passengers. And they are both carrying luggage. So the word luggage is the word for the bags. So it is a collective noun and it means the bags. All of their bags, we call them luggage. Sometimes you'll hear the word baggage as well. It is the same thing, baggage or luggage, but for this video we will use luggage. So now we are here inside the train station, and we can see lots of things here. There's lots of things which are happening, lots of people are moving around. So here we can see a passenger here. This girl here is the passenger, and she is pulling her luggage with the handle. And you can see in the distance there are some screens with some train information on them. So on those screens there will be information regarding the train departures and train arrivals. But we'll look at those a bit later. There'll be some more words for you regarding the screens later on in this video. So inside the train station. Here the passenger with her luggage is buying a ticket at a ticket machine. She's buying a ticket at a ticket kiosk. So there are two words for the same thing. So usually in Europe we call it a ticket machine, and usually in America they call it a ticket kiosk. But it is exactly the same thing. It is the machine, or yes, it's the machine where you can purchase or you can buy your ticket. You can pay for it directly with your credit card. So ticket machine or ticket kiosk. So first of all, train times. To know the train times, you must read the timetable. So you can see the timetable here. This is the word, the important word, timetable. And this is what it looks like in English. I'm sure you've already seen one in your own country. So the timetable contains the names of the stations, the train stations down the left-hand side, and then across on the right-hand side you see the times for each train. So this is one train, this is the second train, this is the next train, this is the next train. So when you want to know the times of a train, you must ask to see the timetable. And sometimes in a train station you will see information boards like this one, which contain the departure times for the train station and also the arrival times. You can see on this photograph it is the departure times. The departure times are the times of the trains leaving the station, and the arrival times are the times of the trains coming to the station. Departure times, arrival times. When to travel. Peak time is the period of time when lots of people are taking the train. It is the busy time. It is expensive to take the train during peak times. So an example of the peak time would be, for example, 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, because lots of people are going to work at the same time. And so peak time, if you wanted to take the train at a peak time, the ticket would be expensive. Off-peak time is the period of time when few people are taking the train. It is a very quiet time. It is cheaper to take the train during off-peak times. It costs less money. So an example of an off-peak time would be a Monday evening at 9 o'clock, for example, because there are very few people who want to get the train at this time, and so train stations will sell their tickets for cheaper. So this is called the off-peak time. Buying a train ticket. So this is the train ticket. So to take the train, you have to buy a train ticket. You must buy a train ticket. And it is a little piece of paper which proves that you have paid. In English, the cost or price of a train ticket is called the train fare. So a train fare. So if your ticket costs £5 or $5. The train fare is $5. You can buy your train ticket in several places in a train station. In fact, there are mainly two places that you can buy a train ticket. Number one, you can buy a train ticket at a ticket machine, sometimes called a ticket kiosk. So a ticket machine or a ticket kiosk. It's the same thing. Usually in England or in Great Britain or in Europe, we would call it a ticket machine. And very often in Northern America, so Canada or the United States of America, they say ticket kiosk. This is a photograph of it here. So it is a machine, a computerized machine where you can buy your ticket. Or you can buy your ticket at a ticket office. So a ticket office is like going to a travel agent or going to a bank. You go up to a counter and there is somebody, an agent behind the desk, who will sell you the ticket and give you some advice and answer any questions. So you can buy a train ticket using a ticket machine or by going to a ticket office. If you want to go somewhere but you do not want to come back, you buy a single ticket, sometimes also called a one-way ticket. There's a very famous song by the Beatles called that, a one-way ticket. But if you want to go somewhere but you are not coming back, you buy a single ticket. If you want to go somewhere but you do want to come back, for example, if you go from London to Manchester and then you want to come back from Manchester back to London later in the day, then you buy a return ticket. So you can see on the photograph here, it is actually written return on the ticket. And here as well, it is actually called single on the ticket. When you want to, for example, if you want to go from Bristol to Manchester, you have two choices of how you go. You can either just take one train and you go from Bristol using one train all the way to Manchester. This is the red line. Okay. This is called a direct train. So if you take one train to go from Bristol to Manchester, this is called a direct train. But sometimes you cannot take a direct train. Sometimes you cannot just take one train. And sometimes you have to take two trains. For example, you might have to go from Bristol to Birmingham first, and then go from Birmingham to Manchester second. If you do this, in English, we say that at Birmingham you have a connection. You have a connection. And your second train journey So the journey going from Birmingham to Manchester, we say that is a connecting train, a connecting train. So, as you can see at the bottom, if you take 2 trains to go from Bristol to Birmingham, you have a connection in Birmingham. And the name of this train, this is called a connecting train from Birmingham to Manchester. So it's the second train that you take is called the connecting train. There are 2 types of tickets that you can buy when you are buying a ticket. A second class ticket will have minimum comfort and services, and the ticket will be cheaper. So you can see on the photograph, you know, it's comfortable, but it's nothing luxurious. There aren't many services, but the ticket will be cheaper. This is called a second class ticket. And if you want to have more comfort and more services, then you must buy a first class ticket. So a first class ticket, but this will be more expensive. And you can see in the photograph, you have a nice light, you have more comfortable seats, there is more space. There are less seats, so there is more space, and you have restaurant and food served to you at your table. So 2 types of ticket, 2 types of service, second class and first class. In some countries, when you buy your ticket, before you take the train, you must stamp your ticket. You must stamp the ticket. And so you stamp the ticket by inserting it into this machine. And the machine will stamp the date and time onto the ticket. In England, this isn't usually necessary. Usually in England, your ticket will be stamped for you by the ticket controller. So there will be a ticket conductor or a ticket controller, a person who will check your ticket on the train, and he or she will stamp your ticket for you. Train information. In the train station, there will be information boards like this one, information screens, where lots of important information is displayed about the train. And it will be information about departing trains and also arriving trains, trains that are arriving, so departures and arrivals. And so there is information about the company of the train, the time of the train, the destination, the train number, the track number, and the status. And the status means it will tell you here if the train is late or if it is on time. If the train is late, we say it is delayed. The train is delayed. But if it is okay, if it is not late, if the train will arrive at the expected time, we say the train is on time. The train is on time. And if you see the word cancelled, that means there is a problem and the train will not come. The train is not running. So the train, you have to get another train. You have to book another train because this one is not running. Now, it could be because there is a problem with the weather or a strike or a technical problem. But whatever the reason, the train being cancelled, it means the train is not running because of a problem. Sometimes in a train station, you have a long time to wait and you would like to, for example, visit the town while waiting. And so you want to store your luggage somewhere. So this is your luggage. Luggage means your bags. So luggage is a collective word for all of your bags. And in a train station, there is very often a place which they call a left luggage locker. So if you go to a train station, you can perhaps ask them, do you have any left luggage lockers, please? And this is what it is. It is a place where you can put your bag in safely, and then you put in a coin. You have to pay, and you get a code. So you can come back 3 or 4 hours later, or maybe a few days later, and collect your bag, collect your luggage. So you can leave your luggage in a left luggage locker. You often see these at airports as well. For train stations, it is often only the very big train stations. For example, in London and Paris they have these, but I don't think they have them in smaller towns. In, for example, a town like Reading in England, I don't think they have left luggage lockers. It is usually the larger train stations. So here we are learning the verb for entering the train. So we say to get on a train. So here we can see in the film the passenger is getting on the train. So he gets on the train, he is getting on the train. So the verb is to get on the train. The passenger is getting on the train. Here we can see the inside of the train with some important parts of the train. Here down the left hand side, this is the passage down the middle of a train. So it's between these seats here and the seats on the other side. This lane or passage is called an aisle. If you notice the difficult pronunciation, you don't hear the letter S, and it's not really, you don't really hear the letter A either. So we say aisle. So this is the aisle. Because this is the aisle, the seat which is on this side, all of these seats down here are called the aisle seats. So this is an aisle seat. And this seat here, because it is next to the window, it is called the window seat. And these words are important because very often when you are buying your ticket, the agent in the ticket office or the software on the ticket machine will ask you, would you prefer an aisle seat or a window seat? So this is what that means. And the luggage rack is this this section at the top above the heads of the passengers. So at the top of the inside of the train there are these it's like a big shelf where you can put your luggage. So there's room there to put your bags and any other items, a coat for example. So that is called the luggage rack. And here at the end, or in the middle of this part of the film, we can see quite a few new words. So obviously this is the train itself. So the train, that is what has just left the station. The train has just departed. And the train runs on the track. So the track are these long metal bars with the wooden, these are called sleepers in fact. But the important word is the track, or sometimes called the train track. But the track is fine. And here we have the platform. So the platform is the place or the area that the passenger stands on when he is waiting for the train. So the platform is this bit, it's the ground at the station, and it is usually slightly raised from the ground. It is slightly raised so that it is not at the same level as the track. So we say this is the platform. And this here I am showing you part of the train. So a train is made up of lots of carriages, or sometimes called wagons, but usually called a carriage. So this is the start of the carriage here, and it goes all the way back to here. And there behind it there is another carriage which is starting here. And so a carriage is like a compartment. It's a compartment, and each carriage is usually separated by a door. There's usually a door inside the train at the end of each carriage. This word is very important for when you are getting on the train, because on your ticket there will be a carriage number. So you have to look at your ticket to see which carriage number you are on before you can get onto the train. So on your ticket it will be written carriage number 10, for example. if you are on the train and you are feeling hungry, then you need to go to the buffet bar, the buffet car. Sorry, the buffet cart, not the buffet bar, it's the buffet car, or the buffet carriage, it is sometimes called. That is where you can buy a snack, or something to eat, or something to drink. And you can see on the photograph here, there are people there, in there having a glass of orange juice. So, if you need to know where you can find this, you could ask somebody on the train, "Excuse me, where is the buffet car?" Here we are learning the word for leaving the train. So when you arrive at your station, to leave the train, we say to get off the train. So the verb is to get off the train. So here on this film, in this part of the film, we can see this lady, the passenger, is getting off the train. So she is getting off the train. So that is the end of the lesson, the end of the vocabulary lesson, and this is a list or a summary of all the vocabulary, of all the words that we have seen today, all the words which were in red, all the important words that you need to remember. So I will go through them just so that I won't give you the definition again because we have already seen it, but I'll just go through the pronunciation again for you. So I'll start at the top left and I'll move down to here. Train station, escalator, screens, ticket office, ticket machine or ticket office, ticket kiosk, left luggage locker, passenger, luggage, get on the train, get off the train, train, carriage, track, platform, luggage rack, aisle seat, window seat, buffet car, departure times, arrival times, delayed, cancelled, on time, timetable, ticket, fare, return ticket, single ticket, first class, second class, peak, off-peak, direct train, connecting train. Okay, so that is all the vocabulary. Next, and for the final part of the video, I'm going to give you a game, a fun quiz to test you with these words. So if you do not think you're ready, then perhaps go back and look at the video again, watch the video again maybe, before we come to the questions. Okay? But if you think you're ready, and you're ready to play the game, keep watching. So, to test you on some of the words, we are going to do a crossword puzzle. So, I am sure you are familiar with this. You often see these crossword puzzles in newspapers or in magazines. So, there are some words which are hidden in the puzzle. Okay, so there are 3 words which are going across horizontal. So there are 3 horizontal words: 5 across, 7 across, and 8 across. So each line there is a hidden word in there. Okay? And there are also words coming down, starting at the top. So there is a word here, 4 down, 3 down, 6 down, 1 down, and 2 down. And so there are questions. I will give you now the questions to find the answers. Okay, so for example, across means horizontal and down means vertical. So for example here, 5 across is this one. So this is the question for here, for this word. So the question is, if you want to go from London to Manchester but not come back, what type of ticket must you buy? And in brackets after each question it tells you how many words are there in the answer. So here there are 2 words, and the first word has 6 letters and the second word has 6 letters as well. Okay, so 7 across is here, and so that is the question, and this time it has 1 word with 5 letters. Okay, and it's the same for down. So down, for example, number 4 down is here, and the question the answer will have 2 words, and the first word has 5 letters and the second letter has 6 letters. And so all of these missing words will join up. So for example, the last letter of the answer to 7 across will be one of the letters in the answer to 4 down. Okay, so I'm not going to give you the answers in the video, but I'm going to let you give you some time to find the answers yourselves, and I will give you the answers in the comments. So once you have the answers, give me the answers in your in the comment section. So write a comment with the answers, and then I'll tell you if you're right or not. Okay, so for example, in the comment section write 5 across, and then just give me the answer for 7 across, 8 across, etc, etc. Okay, well, that's it. That's the end of the video. If you liked the video, if you liked the lesson and you would like more vocabulary lessons like this one, then please subscribe to my channel and click on like for this video to show me that you liked it, and leave a comment as well. So leave me a comment with any questions and perhaps the answers to the quiz. And if you have any other questions about the vocabulary that we've seen today, then go ahead, ask the question, and I will answer you in the comment section as well. Okay, thanks very much. Bye-bye.